think about using AI to create content, I always think about making more content faster. And I think that's probably where most of our minds go.
But today in this video, I want to share a very specific use case to create content in a way that makes you more human, which in my case is much more valuable than mass-produced AI content. Let's get into it. Anyone who's watched this channel for a while has heard us talk about the value of original research. And today I'm going to talk about a few ways you can use AI in your original research process. And here's why. Human experience is what we all want and crave. And in our content, original human experience is really, really important. There's only one problem. Most of us as individuals have a very limited view on things, limited ideas, and limited ability to come up with new concepts or thoughts. And that's where AI is really, really awesome. When I go use AI for idea generation, there are tons of things that I just would have never thought of that I can end up using in my content that I wouldn't have been able to use before. The specific example that I have kind of prepared for you today is something that Julia actually did a lot of the research on. We ran some examples and some tests through actually ChatGPT, and I want to show you kind of what we found. So again, remember, this is all framed around the idea of original research and how to use AI to do that original research. And so it all starts kind of with your title, right? And now we always recommend that you do some sort of keyword research or what we would call search analysis, and to find the topics that you have a pretty good idea could rank well on Google. But after that, after you kind of have that key term or key phrase that you want to use, the first thing that you can use ChatGPT for is to find great titles. Throughout this process, we're going to start very high level, and we're just going to get kind of niched farther and farther down into the topic so that we can get some really good ideas from the AI. So what we did is we started out by just asking ChatGPT, give me ideas for a blog post about woodworking. Now again, like I said, you're going to want to do some search analysis, but this could be a great place to start getting those creative juices flowing to find a topic for your article. Now ChatGPT put out a couple really great ideas here. And as we looked through them, we thought, oh, okay, what do we want to kind of use for this example? And as we looked through some of these ideas, we kind of decided that we wanted to pursue number 7 here, tool maintenance and sharpening, and kind of dive into that topic. So then Julia went and prompted it again and just gave it a very general, very wide prompt. Now remember, none of us are prompt experts here for AI. We're just doing what we would imagine someone who is probably fairly beginner at blogging might try and do. So here we go. Write 2,000 word blog post on this topic, tool maintenance and sharpening. Offer guidance on keeping woodworking tools in top condition, covering topics like tool cleaning, blade sharpening, and routine maintenance. So ChatGPT went in and gave us a really decent article. Again, something that would need some help, some wordsmithing, some additional human experience added in, but a really good place to start. And you can see here, we kind of have our main points or our subheadings. And as we kind of look through this article, I want to start identifying places for that original research. And so we kind of looked through some of these subheadings and said, all right, let's look at number 6 here, storing your tools safely, the lasting impact. That's just the AI generated title, but you could change that. So we thought, all right, let's prompt it again, see what the AI kind of comes up with. So we said, give me ideas for storing your tools safely, the lasting impact. So then ChatGPT starts to break down this topic for me, right? We started very high level, some woodworking ideas. And then we kind of got some some general topic ideas. And then we said, all right, I want to see kind of an article outline for this specific topic. And now we're drilling into a specific subheading. And I think that's really key is, we started really big, which most of you probably know is not the best place to start, or it's not the place to end up by any means. You really want to get as specific as possible with your prompts when you're utilizing AI like this, because it can get very general and kind of off topic pretty easily. So now we have some really great ideas for tool storage and maintenance and cleaning and that sort of thing, which is awesome. Plenty enough for a subheading. At this point, Julie went and prompted it to rewrite a section in a more casual and engaging way. And this is something that we've recommended on the channel before, a good way to use AI is to kind of write a section of your article, but if you don't love the way that it feels, you can just put that paragraph that you wrote yourself into the AI, into ChatGPT, and then ask it to rewrite in a specific tone or a specific way. Here, I wasn't super excited about the way that the AI rewrote it, but again, you should be reprompting and giving it as many chances as possible. You should never take the first thing that it gives you, unless it's just super, super good, but generally prompting it a couple times is gonna give you the best result possible. One thing to note here about putting your own writing into the AI is we did run the AI version of the article, or that kind of subheading, through an AI checker, and it did come up as totally AI, which of course it would, since it was regenerated by AI. I don't think that's too big of an issue because you came up with the information yourself. So as long as it's accurate and it sounds good, it flows well, that's not going to be a problem. Okay, here's where it gets kind of cool. So now that we've kind of drilled down into some very specific topics, we wanted to see how well the AI could do things like kind of create an experiment for us for some original research purposes, or create a table. And so you can kind of see here what it came up with. We asked it, make me a chart about this concept for woodworking, hand tool versus power tool precision, construct a project using only hand tools, another using power tools. So we asked it to kind of create this table, and I think it did an okay job. It wasn't anything that I was like super, super amazed at, but I think that there's some good application here. This was only one experiment that we ran for this table idea. I think that there's probably some good application out there, and if you prompted it well enough, I think you could probably get a pretty good result. The next one that we did, which is probably like not just the icing on the cake, but like maybe the whole cake, I think it's pretty awesome. Julia asked the AI to give her criteria ideas for an experiment on wood expansion and contraction with temperature changes. And the AI just like gave her this really cool experiment idea that you can kind of read through here on screen, which would be pretty cool to actually do. I love the idea of asking the AI to do things like this, like create an experiment for me, or give me 10 ideas for experiments around this specific topic. This is where I mentioned earlier, like I have very limited experience in most cases, and I think we all do. We don't all have infinite knowledge, and neither does the AI, but the AI is pulling from so many different sources that it has a lot more ideas than we do. And so that's where I think its greatest strength is, and that's where we can get the most use, or the best, most valuable use out of it, is for its ideas. And so this list of experiments that we got is just amazing, because I probably wouldn't be able to come up with these myself, and I just think that my blog post, if I take one of these ideas and I actually implement it, it's going to be so much more valuable because I will have done the work. I will have done that original research. I will have expanded my experience. All the AI did really was give me the idea, but that's one of the most important steps. If it didn't give me the idea in the beginning, I would have never been able to do this experiment. So having AI to prompt you to do experiments or something like that, or tables, I think that that's a really, really cool use case for AI. We all know the value of original research. When you have numbers, original data on your website, that is a great way to get people to link to your website and to find value in your content. Not only from other bloggers who are linking to your content, but for visitors who are visiting your content, when they see that study, the data on your website, they're going to see value there. And on top of it all, Google understands and sees the value of original data. And so it's just like a kind of a triple whammy, like a really, really good thing to do to have original research. But these are just a few ways. We actually did a couple more tests, and I just like to run you through them really quick because I think that they're really cool. So you can see here, I prompted the AI, please take this table and draw conclusions from the data. So this was some data that I pulled from one of our own websites. I just imagined like if I had done some sort of an experiment and I wanted to kind of take it to the next level, if I'd gotten some data from doing the experiment, maybe the AI could potentially help me draw some conclusions, or give me some ideas of conclusions that could be drawn. And so I put the data table here, and then I just asked it to draw some conclusions. As you can see here, like some of the conclusions are fairly obvious, and I didn't prompt it super far because I had a couple other ideas that I wanted to do as well, but some of them are not that bad. And even though I may not specifically use any one of these 7 ideas that the AI gave me, it prompted thought. And it gave me some places to go. Like I was like, oh, well, what kind of conclusions could I draw from this data? It's like, oh, well, I could go this way or this way. I don't necessarily have to just do copy and paste from whatever the AI says. So here's another example that I thought was pretty awesome. We recommend that if you have some sort of audience, that you occasionally poll your audience to get an idea of what people think. We all love human experience, and we want to know what people think on a specific topic. And so if you have an audience, pull them, ask them a question. So just the other day, we did this on one of our channels. We asked them what kind of camera they would want to use or want to see us use for an outdoor camera setup. All I did was I simply went and I copied all of the comment responses. I just went onto the YouTube page and just copied all the comments. And I went and I just pasted all of it into ChatGPT. I mean, the paste looked really, really messy. So I wasn't sure what ChatGPT would be able to do with it. But I just said, review these comments and give me the main takeaway. And I was really interested to see what ChatGPT would have to say. I was really impressed that ChatGPT was able to read the comments and then give me some main takeaways. And so it said, you know, there's a variety. Commenters are using a variety of equipment. Okay, including, and then it gives me the types of cameras they're using: DSLR, camcorders, action cameras, mirrorless cameras, and smartphones. People want versatility. There's a lot of people who are using smartphones, and they do that because of convenience and because they're portable. So like all the things that people said in their comments, rather than me having to go and read tons and tons of these comments, I was able just to put it into ChatGPT, and then it just gave me some main takeaways. I thought that was really cool. I don't necessarily think that doing it this way is always faster. It's not that terribly hard to read through comments. It's not that terribly hard to come up with an experiment idea, but all of these ideas can so greatly expand my thoughts that it just gives me so much more to work with, so many more ideas or opportunities, things that I just would have never thought of. And to me, that's one of the great main takeaways here. A lot of people are just using ChatGPT to kind of mass produce very thin, fairly low quality content. I think that this is such an exciting way to use this technology because I'm taking the human element that I want to put into my content and I'm just expanding past my own personal capabilities. And so I'd love to hear what you guys think about this idea. I'd love to hear how you are using AI, specifically ChatGPT and maybe other AI tools for blogging. Throw that into the comments. We also have other videos on this channel where we talk about AI and how we've seen it do some great things and some things that just weren't as awesome. But you can check those videos out. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you in the next one.